We've packed the toothbrush and some other stuff. We've locked up the house, said goodbye to the kids, said goodbye to the grandkids, and we're off on a trip of a lifetime to Albania and Uzbekistan and lots of places that aren't in between.
8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, heading off to the Acropolis. Bring it on.
Watch out, Acropolis, here we come. Undoubtedly, the highlight of any trip to Athens, or Greece for that matter, is a visit to the Acropolis. The Acropolis is an ancient temple complex that's located on the top of a hill above Athens. You'll find the remains of several ancient buildings, the most famous being the Parthenon. The word Acropolis is actually Greek for highest point of the city, and technically every ancient city had an Acropolis. It's just that the Athens one endured and lasted and became infamous. Although there is evidence that the hill was inhabited way back, it seems the buildings that we are familiar with today were built around 400 to 500 BC, including the Parthenon. Although the Parthenon is the most famous, it's not the only one. The Propylaea is the gateway into the area, and in my opinion probably the most impressive of the buildings. The Erechtheion is known as the building which has the statues of Greek goddesses instead of some of the columns.
I wonder how old that writing is in that rock.
These buildings have seen a lot of action over the last couple of millennia, including sustaining serious damage during a siege in the 1600s by the Venetians, when gunpowder that was being stored by the Turkish rulers in the Parthenon was hit by a Venetian missile and exploded. Today, there are restoration works that are well underway, and there is scaffolding surrounding the front columns of the Parthenon. There is evidence of necessary repairs in the marble, where new marble has been used to fix up old marble, but only ever tastefully done. It truly is a marble marvel.
I bet those ladies have a lot on their mind.
Graffiti chiseled in. We spent a couple of hours on the hill, but more and more people came streaming in as the morning progressed. By the time we left around 11ish, the queues to get in were back to the same horrendous length that we had witnessed yesterday.
Coming down from the Acropolis.
Now, just to backtrack a little, when most people think of the Acropolis, they think of the Parthenon at the top, but after going through the entrance with a prepaid ticket at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I have to say is definitely the best time to go to avoid the horrendous queues, you head past lots of ruins from ancient times.
Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
We had paid for an audio guide, and some of the stories and contexts to each of the ruins were fascinating. There were stories of Greek gods that had affairs with mere mortals and then getting hit by Zeus's thunderbolts and all sorts of stories. There are a couple of theatres that you pass by. The first is the Temple of Dionysus, and that is credited as being the oldest theatre in the world, although it would have been a long time ago when the last play was undertaken here. Apparently a guy called Thespius was big on performing here, and I presume that is where we get the word thespian from. The second theatre is still in use, and I understand many of the famous opera singers have performed here even in recent times. To summarise, our morning on the Acropolis was a memory to cherish. It really is one of those iconic spots that should be on everyone's bucket list.
I wonder for how long.
Just make sure you pre-book your ticket and get there early in the morning when the really big crowds are still waking up. Please enjoy this lovely photo montage. Please like and subscribe.